Hello there everyone, this is Mark 3 and welcome back to a little more random racing with random destruction. A little bit more of screwdrivers. Well, last time, if you recall, we unlocked some of the more powerful engine types that fit into the same build space as the final engines. They just aren't quite as good, along with a few little things like the three-stage gear shifter, the planetary gears, you know, little toys like that. Nothing serious, nothing fancy, except for the fact that they change a lot of stuff. So, okay, here we go. First, one curious look into memory lane from the tech tree progression. When I first got my hands on the the three-stage gear stepper thingamajig. When I was trying to test with it, I built this fiendish thingy here. So I might as well have a look-see. You see what I did though? It's like I was just jamming things in sideways at random, just trying to see what goes where. And I even went I was strapping extra motors on the side because that's where the power shaft was. It's just completely crazy. So it's just like, yeah, it's nothing special. It's just that shows how far I've come since those. So that's why I find it interesting to show those. Move that over to category 5. Be gone. Off we go. Now, we actually got two comments last time. I'm going to start with Happy Havers, because that's where these guys come in. You can see I've got a bunch of vehicles here over in category 2. Can you try to make a motorcycle now that you have those suspensions, please? Or tricycle if the balancing is an issue? I just want to see how viable they can be. Well, viability is a massive issue. So I'll start with this one, so you can see this is a motorcycle. Yes, and honestly, I built it using a variation of a more late game stage powertrain, which actually I think I really like for how compact it is. Three-stage shifters. It does the trick I like of having like be able to pull power on and pull power off wherever I choose to, which gives it much more variety in where it can select gears. Even if it does result in some dead gearage, like there's multiple ways to get a one-to-one transfer across it. But it's also this really compact 3x3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 3x3 by 5, not counting the length of the three-stage ones, because that's one of the problems with three stages. They actually take up more space, dead space behind it. But if you're strapping like an engine into the 3x3 behind it, then you know it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, this vehicle's fully functional. It'll be great if it wasn't a motorcycle. Notice, by the way, to make the motorcycle, I've had to strap it on. I mentioned it was big and chunky at the end of last episode. That's because this massive metal arm is the connection point, and it leaves. Well, it's an odd shape. It's 3 across, then it leaves 3 dead, and then I've had to do that same over here. I've had to do that inversion. This is rear-wheel drive as well, by the by, front-wheel steering. It's even got a weight disc on the side to make sure it's perfectly balanced as near as possible. It's got downforce to try and help keep things smooth. It's got stabilizers to try and help it when it's going full throttle. Notes I said trying. I feel like the motorcycle suspension might not quite be finished, if I'm going to be entirely honest with you. Or at the very least, it requires automation like Trailblazers has. I think you can already see the problem, can't you? The thing is, I even built this one with a slightly lower center of gravity. So it should have weight a bit lower down compared to how I normally build it. So everything's in a lower axis. That's why the motion things are one block down. And even so, it's still rolling around like that at a standstill. Then we'll try to turn. Oops. Turn. Yeah, the game doesn't quite know what to do with these, I feel like. So it keeps clunking against the ground, it keeps wobbling. The game just isn't stable with it, like at all. Now if I try and get some speed up, try and get some downforce, It's just going worse and worse, and then suddenly it's just like decided, nope, going this way now. So, so the motorcycle isn't exactly stable. Moving on, there is another motorcycle I tried, because after I built these fully functional ones, I tried stripped down versions just to try for overall viability of things at all. And with the motorbike, I actually wound up, if, as you can see here, I've got basic electric powertrain, no extra gearage, no nothing. But even so, to get it viable, I put more wheels on the side. So when it hits the side, it doesn't care as much. Because without those extra wheels on the side, it was still doing what that first one was doing. But at this point, you can't call it a motorcycle, really. Because it's without those wheels, it would just be doing clonk all over the place. And even then, it's not great. Because remember, I tore all the gearage out to make that one. So it's not very useful. Probably someone can make a better design than I can. I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah. Right, moving on. We've got a tricycle design. I tried to go with the inverted tricycle. So instead of two at the back, one at the front, I've got two at the front, one at the back. Which you'd think would help, but no, it doesn't really. Doesn't suffer much from random bobbing as before, so it's actually pretty stable. The problem is, though, there's so much extra travel available on these motorcycle arms that when you turn, it just goes like that. So yeah, it's not... If you have any kind of speed, the extra travel means any kind of sharp turn is a bit of a death sentence. So you can, see, just wobbling, lost it. So very interesting, as in it's challenging to drive, but it will wind up braking a heck of a lot. And this is, again, you can see the weight plate there. This is weight balanced to be as neutral as possible, and it's still just going here, there, and everywhere. So, not the best. Not the best. Stripped down version. Same powertrain as the motorbike version, just twin electric. Just to see if the basic instability is still there with this configuration. And it is. And this one I even tried giving it rear wheel steering versus front wheel steering, which is arguably actually proving out worse. It's better from some stability standpoints, but it's still having a massive problem of tilting here, there and everywhere anytime I try to corner. So not exactly race-worthy condition, that. Okay, right. Last two, I only have one to show you, sadly. So the first one is going to be this one, right? So I'm slightly confused about this one because this is a configuration roughly similar to something I built in the tech campaign, but you notice the game wasn't loading its statistics. I built this one, the large gear 3-stage shifters, built two of them. As I said, I've done this before in the tech tree campaign, but in this one it seems to be confusing it quite a lot. Don't know why. Also more power, as you can see, but the game doesn't really know how to feel about this one. So this is like another dead one, like once I mentioned last episode. It's just like it struggles to do much. Oh wait, no, you made a decision. You can actually do that. Kind massive. Okay, let's see if it agrees to actually run it. Sadly, as you can probably guess, the game did not agree to run that. So, yeah, that's kind of why I avoided running the other ones previously. They either massively lag the game or cause the game to actually outright crash. I don't know why. This one especially confused me because I've run a configuration on it previously, which is basically the same thing. So, yeah, who knows about that one. But yeah, I did do another basic premise vehicle just like the other ones, so here we go. Same electric powertrain. Four wheels actually makes it a lot easier to balance, you would think. But, well, remember I mentioned in the tricycle that the massive travel seems to be an issue? This one has four wheels, so it's stable. Notice, by the way, it says R to repair or reset. I've noticed that a lot with these motorcycle things. It's like the game isn't quite sure and it thinks the vehicle might be broken when it isn't. But I think you're also already seeing the problem with the suspension in this one. The slightest turn and it just goes... Yeah, it's trying to flip over. Because it's so soft, the vehicle's just like going yeet off to one side or the other. So it's not actually proving to be very controllable. Not when a normal suspension system is a lot more solid than this. Ooh, I tried to nail a landing there. But yeah, I'm even trying to take it off-road a little bit so you can see a little bit. Yeah, it's handling the bumps pretty well. But even then... Yeah, for some reason the motorcycle suspension feels more fragile than the normal ones in terms of keeping the wheels in place. I don't know, maybe it's intended it's meant to go downwards, but then where would the suspension be absorbing bumps and things? And why would the game be snapping it into a horizontal position like it's mounted in now, if it was meant to be pointing straight downwards? These suspensions are kind of weird. Look cool in this configuration, I admit, but they just aren't very flexible. Well, actually, no, they're too flexible, they just aren't that useful. So, there we go. I am sorry. But yeah, I don't really plan to use this arrangement, even though I said before, like, it seemed alright in my limited testing, but I've been trying it with these guys, and it's just like, it's not working out properly. Give me a normal suspension, please. So, anyway, moving on from today, there's one last thing to show and tell, which is from the other comment I mentioned, Clint. It's a great video. Why are you not using four-wheel steering? It's a real thing and it should work in the game. Yes. It's well, first off, here's the Mark 9. I've actually got a proper Mark 9. I've just not named it yet. Yes, four-wheel steering is in the game. Actually, any wheel steering is in the game because you can configure as many wheels as you care to be steering wheels. And some of the boss vehicles even, wrong place. Notice there's some here, like this one has got steering on all its front wheels. This, the Queen of Quickening had. So yeah, we can get more wheels, as many as we want. This vehicle, right now I've got it configured for four-wheel drive. And you'd think it'd be great, but not really. If I could keep fine control of it, probably be a lot better. If like, yeah. If I was using a controller, it would probably be a lot better, but I'm on a keyboard, so it's all in nothing, really. Just like little taps is about as fine as I can get. But even then, that. Yeah. This has got four-wheel drive as well. Four-wheel drive, all-wheel steering. But even just tapping it is enough to start throwing the back out with the rear wheels adjusting their angle of power on the surface. Then if I actually have the throttle down, it just goes and I start doing donuts. So yeah, some of my very early vehicles did actually use some four-wheel control, but it's like at low power, when it doesn't have the power to overcome the traction and spin out, probably be okay. But it's spinning out with my higher tier engines like 100% of the time. And even the softening of the steering at higher speed makes it a lot harder for me to stay narrow. And yeah, as you can see, it's like... It's very easy to spin out, so it's actually a loss of fine control that's causing me problems with the four-wheel drive system. Well, not the four-wheel drive, four-wheel steering. I mean, one potential option would be to mount an extra set of... The game seemed confused there. I don't think I was damaged at all. I could mount some extra wheels in the sides, I suppose, to have it arrest that sideways tendency. But then that's more friction, that's more mass. It'll be the motorcycle with side wheels situation all over again, trying to correct for something when this vehicle should work absolutely fine with just front wheel steering. Admittedly, yeah, it doesn't quite have the turning radius of a four-wheel system, but this game focuses a lot more on speed than it does on precise maneuvering. So front wheel steering is just like more useful to me personally, I think. Yeah, because the rear wheels aren't trying to throw themselves out now. Yes, my turning circle is better, but I'm able to control the vehicle a lot better. And as you can see, this thing tops out about 185. Top speed theoretically is about 200 or so, but it just doesn't have any engine power after about 185. So, this is the Mark 9. So, quick overview of the Mark 9. It's got some aerodynamics. It's a bit bigger than the Mark 8 because I once again implemented, without thinking really, four-wheel power, four-wheel drive. So that increases the length of it by like 3 blocks or so, and the width of it by a couple of blocks too, to go get some space to feed the power shafts around where I want them to be. Also, I mentioned I found that 3x3 by, what was it, 6 or 7 powertrain that I think is more compact version, so I think I'll use that for future marks. But this one actually has the one I said a few episodes back that I really liked, the small, medium, large gear shift right there in the middle. You can't see the small ones because they are sandwiched right up there, but that's where they are. This is actually the transference to the rear wheel axle, so you know that's quite nice. But it's the same deal as usual. It's got shifters, just pulls off any of those as we go. So I'm already demonstrating what I said about this, the 3-step shifter being able to make much more compact powertrains than the 2-step one. Though, of note, this one also has a medium gear off the powertrain, which has 2 combustion engines mounted side by side here, 1 electric engine, and also has capacitors and the superchargers fitted as well. And also, because I had a little space here, because I needed to firmly mount the electric engine in, so I had to extend the vehicle by 1 extra block because of that. I actually strapped in a small combustion engine with an extra supercharger on that as well, so a little bit more power there. And then, of course, as you see, that's the axle running forward to hit the front wheel drive. It's very simplistic design overall, but honestly, simple isn't bad. One slight concern is because of the size of this thing and the way I mounted it, it actually sticks down slightly low, so my ground clearance isn't what it technically should be, because I've got this bigger gear involved. But if parts go flying off in the middle of a race, then hey, what are you going to do? That's part of the fun, yeah. But anyway, Mark 9. Front wheel steering only. What do we need to do? We've almost got all the races to the Secret Queen. So our first one is actually a destroy opponent. Let's go ahead, because it looks like we've got a tank. You got to remember, destroy opponent, we only have to immobilize. So this one should be over quickly. Yeah, it's got a lot of wheels on that guy. Over quickly, immediately mess up the intercepts. Actually, he has a lot of mass and momentum. I think I think these guys on the destroy targets actually have armor blocks involved as well. They seem to be quite heavy. Okay, yeah, I seem to have a problem where as soon as I go under him, it throws him off. And he's actually able to climb over me pretty well. Come back here. What are you even doing? Why are you going back and forth? I think the AI got a bit confused there. Come back here. There we go. In the end, I just wound up matching his driving, and his suspension was such that I was fitting under his vehicle pretty well. It's a gold. It doesn't feel like a gold. But yeah, I stopped him just before it would tick over to silver. I'll take it. I'll take it. Gives me the pistons as well, a part I've honestly never really used. But remember, some of the bosses have had adjustable downforce that can pop out of their bodies, and there was that vehicle 2-3 episodes back, which could expand its entire wheelbase. Yeah, pistons. That's pistons. Okay, next up, career. We do have a bunch of stuff that we haven't maxed out, but our next race is going to be the Secret Queen. Not quite sure what engine she's got. I can see a big cog in the front, racing wheels, some downforce. Reward will be a compass, which is a piece exclusive to this game mode, not available in tech tree mode. So I'm not quite sure what that does, though I did vaguely hear that it points towards some extra parts to help you find them. Okay, let's see. To be honest, I think I've only done this race once before in tech tree mode, so it's like I don't really remember what the course is like overall. I just know that our vehicle should be relatively capable to do it. In theory. I was trying to get a sneaky look at the vehicle, but it's just like, because it's all ghosted out, I can't really see too well. Street suspension, street wheels, plenty of downforce. It looks like a racing vehicle of some kind. Oh, here we go. Okay, right. And bit of a stutter off the line there, but we have more acceleration and more power, it looks like, so yeah, this vehicle can easily handle us. Little turn. Is this a circuit or is this a one-way one? Because these little boss races have been either of those. Oh. Too much power for my own good there. Hi! Come back here. Yeah, I was a bit thrown because the fact we went into a tunnel. We don't normally do that. But remember, this vehicle does actually have better top speed than the previous marks as well, for the most part. Hi! Yeah, as long as I lift off the throttle and brake when required, this vehicle works pretty well. Also, it doesn't have that old problem on some of the earlier marks where it couldn't actually put down more power and acceleration when it was turning. That was a bit of a compromised design, that one, I must admit. Where do you want me to go now? You want me to turn? Oh, okay. I remember that now, actually. You know what, I'm going to stop. I need that extra wheel back. Come on. Yes, I was saying I don't really remember this race too well, but then it's just like that's that sudden 180. It's like, oh yeah, this race does that. It's just like a memorable moment, because I think the first time I encountered that one, I didn't realise I didn't brake in time, just like I did this time, and then I slammed straight into it. Actually, are we touring the? We are touring the whole line, aren't we? Oops. There go a few bits and pieces. Doesn't affect the vehicle's overall integrity. This one isn't as slender as the previous one, but I did make sure to reinforce a lot of it with multiple connection points, so vehicles pieces just don't go flying off so easily. If for no other reason, just trying to maintain the wheels, because that's the only part that really matters at the moment. That should change eventually, because there is something about damage modelling in the planned roadmap for this game. But right now, it's not. I think it'll change the game quite drastically when that actually comes in. I think we're on the second lap now. Yep, here we go. Gotta remember, got that tight corner at the end here. I messed that up even better. My entire rear wheel section went away. And the camera meant I almost missed the checkpoint. Though that said, considering we had no further mistakes on this, yeah, I had a comfortable lead. Not as comfortable as my previous best, as you can see, which is like 15 seconds faster than this. But we're still in no real danger. Why did my entire front assembly fall apart from that one? I don't know. I don't know. I clipped one wheel and suddenly the front of my vehicle evaporated. Maybe it's because I collided with an indestructible object. That might be it. To be honest, I was actually planning to come into this particular video with two vehicles. Like this one, the Mark 9, like one fully built out, ready to roll. All-terrain, full power, so on and so forth. And I was thinking about maybe making a little track kart kind of thing as well. You know, just like try and make something really compact, because the engines are better and they give access to some things. Helps you find the last remaining secret spots on the island. Always point towards the nearest point on the island where there is still something you have not discovered yet. Okay, it's an exploration part. Very nice. Need to buy it, I'm guessing. Specials. 1,000 smackaroonies to get that, and the next expensive is like 350 for one of the engines. Yeah, boy. I will have a buy one. Is that a 3x3? I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to slap it into this guy then. What are you? You are indeed a 3x3. I know how to fit you. Let's put a couple of these connectors in the top here. And then we can put you in pride of place. There we go. Actually, I should probably pay attention to weight distribution and all that. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we've just beaten the Queen. As soon as it works out the vehicle, thank you. So, as you can see, we've got new entrances have appeared. There are actually more races planned in development as well, so more will crop up. But right now, I think free drive and find the things, because as you can see, new stuff has appeared all over. There's also stuff on the other map too. But, well, we're still missing some key parts. Chief among them being the most powerful current engines. There are also more engines, of course, available, well, planned to be available as far as the roadmap. Some new electrics and new combustion engines are mentioned. But for the moment, this is all we've got. So we just have to figure out what's where. Up here? Oh, this is an off-road kind of thing. Too bad for you, I've got a four-wheel driver with actually a lot of horsepower. So I should be just fine. Until I get stuck on a rock like that. Give me a second. The camera is trying to fight me. Yeah, I actually gave up on that one. Crunch. Yeah, I couldn't actually get a grip on the rocks with my current vehicle, so I wasn't expecting that. A place that's genuinely hard to get to. Oh, you're just... Oh, the other Mark IV piston. I'm not actually super into that one, because remember I said I don't really use the pistons much. In fact, I don't think I've ever built a vehicle with them. Oh, there it is. Oh, yes, okay. Laser cut. This is actually one of the few pieces I am happy to see from the more complex parts. You can probably guess why. I mean, look at it. It's got like it's a 5 and then 2 up, and it's all no spacing. So this is actually great for helping to mount more complex engine assemblies. It's a very good piece to actually find, and in fact, it'd be great for mounting this wider gear shifter I've got, because you can attach all 5 of the shafts to the rotating parts onto it, and then the 2 above or below can be used to mount it to the rest of the vehicle. Very handy. Oops. And I get slightly off-road, and my vehicle comes apart again. As you do. Now, there should be some up here if I recall, but I will be checking the map again pretty soon to try and figure things out. And I think that one's up on the wall. This one is... Are you in the corner? No, you're behind the ramp. Okay. Deco winglets. Would be good, but I don't think it actually affects your wind resistance at all. It really is just for deco, as I said. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to demolish that. I will take this though. 3x5 beam edge. Potentially interesting, that. Not super familiar. I'm not sure that I've really looked at that one before though. Yeah, for an off-road vehicle, this thing is braking quite a lot. I think it's because I'm still using the small suspensions rather than the large ones. Ah! The big dirt wheels! Okay, there's a sight from sunrise. I might actually need that one to get on top of that rock. So I was hoping I'd find that one in a loose chest, and I just did. But yeah, big dirt wheels. Even bigger, even beefier off-road wheels. Which should help with clearance and top speed, but hurt acceleration because of the mass on them. And the connector double. Another piece that I found was oddly missing. The more recent builds, I've actually was kind of hurting for that part, and I was wondering why haven't this unlocked yet? So I don't really understand why it was slightly delayed. Then again, maybe that's why it was slightly delayed, because it's like it's actually a fairly useful part to have. You couldn't see it, by the way. It's not just a 3-length one of those connectors. It's actually got a circular socket in the middle of it as well. And this one, I believe, is underneath. Oops, daisy. Yep, there it is. Aha! The TX300 turbovolts. The biggest, beefiest electric engine. Also takes 2 capacitor slots on top. But yeah, 79 horsepower just by itself. That's almost half our vehicle's total horsepower, actually, just from that one engine. I told you the bigger engines got really good. That was weird. That chest had nothing in it. It wasn't even a colour, because that would have popped up saying as well. That's the first chest I've got which has just not given me anything. Which actually implies it was for a block that's been removed and or is planned. Who can say? Anyway, let's check how much more I've got still to go in this one. Yeah, there's still a handful of things just dotted about. Let's get this one tree on the hill. Wish I could access a map in game, but that's just a small niggle, and I've mentioned it before. Oh yeah, that's very safe, that one. Oh, the Blaze 1000. 55 horsepower, 65 kilogram weight. The strongest current combustion engine. The bigger brother of the engines I currently have fitted. And my vehicle doesn't seem to know what to do, so... Yep, I'm getting a bit stuck. There we go. The big racing wheels. Never actually used the big racing wheels. Now I think about it. Same with the mediums, really. I only used the mediums to the point of like one race to unlock the big ones, and then that was it. Oh yeah, this is the bit I got stuck on. Well, a bit I got stuck on. So, I feel like this vehicle might have too much power in general, making it a bit hard to control. Oh, I see. Is it on that plateau up there? I bet it is. Oops. Yeah, have to be careful with the acceleration a little bit on this mark. I think it's... Yeah. Come on, screwdrivers. Stop fighting me. I am your friend. Kinda. Oops. There we go. The 7-piece pistons. I think there's one more. Yeah, there's one more. It's just along the coastal road. And the H-beam part. Another niche part there. Can't say I've used it personally, but well, then again, my vehicles do tend to be like basic fundamentals rather than actually trying to look like good or like certain things. So I guess that's probably why I don't like the specialty parts as much in general. Or at least I don't find them as useful. Don't get me wrong, I like that they're there. But also notice, by the way, unlocking more of these parts, I've unlocked a whole bevy of older vehicles from my running around in the Tech Tree campaign. Like this one is a version that was built for demolition before I realised the whole you can just immobilise them trick. This one is from when I was trying to work out gears and things a bit more. Notice, by the way, it has got advanced engines and superchargers on it already, which shows kind of how the order of unlocking stuff in tech trees is vastly different. This one was attempted at 4-wheel steering at the front. Relatively simple at the back, but kind of streamlined. The problem with this is it doesn't sort by in terms of like order played and stuff like that. Well, it is order played. It's more like order built is the ordering in here. Like last time you edited them is how recently they show. Well, edited and played. Sorry. Another simple one. Still in the 6-wheel phase. Nothing special there. See, just like trying with more simple gear trains. This one is, what is this one? Well, you can see this is like a general racing one using big suspension, big wheels. You can see it's got like multiple engines and things. So it's taking all the power, feeding into a single access point. Then a longer gear train here built around the planetary gears, actually. Actually, you know what, let's drop into this one a little bit so we can actually have a look at. I can't because. Yeah, I think this was probably the first one built around planetary gears. Max speed 707. So I wasn't really caring about how efficient the gearing was. I was just like doing bigger number is better for a while. Similar thing here. Trying with some different building arrangements. Oops. Though, unlike our Mark series here, which is named numbers, as you can see, all of these are just unnamed. This one was an attempt at the four-wheel motorbike suspension. Actually, this one, you can see it's like very long, very slim. Let's add this car to my garage. I'll need to spend another couple hundred points to get the parts for it. That's okay. It's only a Class D. But you can see it's got a gear shifting system involved with several steps. It's got an optional thing here. Actually, I'm trying to figure this gear system out. Give me a sec. Okay, so this one can pull. This one can pull a one-to-one off there directly. Then that is a step down. Then this is a three shifter. As you can see, going back and forth. Just trying to. I think it had an optional planetary gear involved as well. But what is this? What's the purpose of this one? I don't remember. I really don't remember. We will free drive it though because, well, my early opinion that the using the 4 had to work relatively okay came from somewhere, and it might be from this one. This does feel familiar. It has the same extreme tilting problem going on. So, yeah. I think this one was a serious attempt to use this one in the Tech Tree campaign, but it had the same problems as I highlighted at the start of this particular episode. As in, it likes to do this. So, yeah. If only I understood how those suspensions are meant to work. I think that's a big stepping point. Okay, here's one. Top speed 401, as you can see. No smooth gearing. So just deep, 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 deep. And this was another one I used for some races. I rebuilt a lot of cars, actually. And then this one is a four-wheel drive, relatively slim design, this, actually. Relatively slim. But you can see it's got the it's got a double gearing in it. Add the vehicle. Another 810 missing parts, really? What's it got? I'm not super sure. But the thing with this one is it's built around the two-step one. So, oh, I remember this one. It's when I was trying to figure out an alternative to the three-step one before I even started recording this series. I was trying to figure some things out with the parts I had in the other one. And I think this is one trying to be more compact in its gearing settings before I started to get to grips a bit with planetary gears. So this is like another older intermediate snapshot. Oops, I think I moved the category 4. No, you're category 5. Off you go. Bye-bye. Okay. So, that was all that. Now, Free Drive over here claims there's only that one that's on top of the rocks I can't seem to get at. This one, if I recall, there's a hidden... I read something somewhere about there maybe being a hidden piece on this one. Don't know what it is, though. But the compass points towards nearest, and it's pointing towards... Yeah, something's out that way. Away from the rest of the map, so... Yeah, the compass leads us on. Oh, oh, I see something in the distance. I am way off the corner of the map here. There's all kind of ruins. Yeah, this would be basically unfindable without the compass. Prototype colour part. Okay. And the compass is no longer responding, so that was the only thing to find here. The prototype colour part. So a little collectible thingamajig. Okay. Now I think I need to make a custom vehicle though to get that last piece in the other place. Let's do that real quick. Yeah, to be honest, well, this is the little thing I threw together for getting that. You can see originally it was like 4-wheel, then it's expanded to 6. But this goes back to what I was saying earlier about having all-wheel steering. Like maybe having extra wheels in the middle will help to offset things. Maybe it does help with sliding, but it doesn't help the tendency to steer when the rear wheels are also trying to throw the vehicles back out of alignment. So I do prefer trying to keep steering in the one general area. Now the 4-wheeler could climb this, but it got a little bit stuck. Well, actually, to be more accurate, the first time I tried this, it did a backflip. This one's trying, bless it, but it's not quite getting there. Why is there one on top of this lot? Oh, there we go. Oh no. Ugh. Why is there one up here? Of all places. I feel like this kind of throws a wrench in the works compared to the rest of the... Basically the rest of the game. The rest of the game is not required you to be able to get up something like this. Unless the point is to build like a crane vehicle and have it just reach over the top. Which I think might be what I wind up doing, actually. Disappointing as it may be, cheesy as it may be, I think it's what I'm going to do. For some strange reason, the massive crane and the extra weights to offset it have somewhat blunted this vehicle's performance. Strange, huh? Got it though. Really? Really? The one hidden on top of the rock was the biggest carbon wing. Okay. You know, I could have figured that out just by checking everything. But anyway, let's see. Okay, so I've actually picked that up. The compass is pointing towards something else, though. And because my vehicle's so big, I can't actually zoom far to see the camera. Oh dear. This thing is cursed. Yeah, you just look at it. Look at that. I'm sure there was a smarter way to get about it. This is the brute force option, but it's just like, yeah. You are the cursed crane arm. But as you can see, unlocking that new winglet unlocks... That's my original transport one. Unlocks some bigger, beefier vehicle designs, which are all pretty solid in their own respect. You can also see, like, look at the top speed there, 1,200. This is 169, 50, 215. This one was a pretty good one. Very, very careful, but notice that winglets were like bolted on here, there, and everywhere for a lot of this stuff. Again, showing how in this game my approach is like function over form for the most part. I also kind of like how I got so close to that thing using that crane arm that it gave me the part, but the minimap insists that I've not been there, and so the part is still relevant. So this is pointing towards... it's another colour piece. Okay, right. So this will help me find the colour pieces. There's a bunch of these I know that I didn't find, and this compass is now confirming and helping me track them all down. Not that I've actually painted my vehicle yet in these, mind you. Alright, I've stripped out the compass. It was a whole bunch of colours, honestly, so not much to note there. But I'm going to round this out with a couple of these races, and then that's going to be episode done. Next episode will be the last one as far as like clearing up these races. I think there's a few more, and then getting goals on ones we've done previously. So there is that. Though that said, I'll mention it now. I'll say again at the end. I think for the mark for the next race, I'll let the comments guide me what kind of vehicle you want me to actually try and do for last episode. So, let's move on. Flat car competition. This is another ghost race, but notice it says flat. We are actually built within the standards to work for this one. So we are good. But if my vehicle was bigger and beefier, like if I stepped up straight away to the big wheels and the big suspensions and things, or if I had my winglets and things higher up, that would be an issue too. But this vehicle should be fine. It's medium suspension, medium wheels, and this is why it's a flat race. There's a height check. There's several height checks, along with a corner I forgot about. Oh, you wait. But yeah. If your vehicle's above a certain height, then it can't actually pass through that because those are not destructible. And I do like this one. It's like it isn't one that forces you to think a little bit about your vehicle construction overall, without being contrived like that crane contraption was. Oh, side note, there is actually I don't think I'm going to get gold on this one. I'm not going to get bronze on this one first time out. No. There was actually a colour I couldn't get my hands on, and that's because it was on top of a rock. Like, one of the tunnel entrances, it was on top of the rocks up there, so it's like trying to climb on those rocks is a massive problem. Yeah, this will take a couple of tries to get up to... I'm being lapped! This is not great. The vehicle isn't handling well enough for me to actually do this. That, and I'm just like... I'm making silly mistakes too. Of course I am. Because of course I am. Actually, I didn't check if there's any parts to unlock for this one, but I don't think there is. Yeah, nearly 20 seconds slower than bronze. That was downright embarrassing. My vehicle just wasn't handling well enough. I think that in handling wise, this thing is actually a step down overall from the Mark 8. You know what? Let's try that again. But with a Mark 8 instead. And let's actually check now. Rewards. Oh, I get the big dirt wheels from the tunnel trip. And that's it. So yeah, that's just the big dirt wheels. Okay, let's try racing flat again, but this time with the vehicle that served us so well last time and surprised me with its handling. Will it surprise me again? Let us see. Oh, it's a bit too tall there, as you can see. It's I lost the winglet. It is keeping going though. Yeah, this thing was doing way better than the Mark 9 did. So yeah, this Mark 8 is definitely where it's at. Overall handling the Mark 8 is a lucky coincidence of several factors. Unless I steer it into a wall like that, in which case, yeah. I don't even remember what vehicle I used for this one. I think I used this race for several different vehicles. So yeah, I just don't remember. Oh, it's a bronze. I'll take it. I was right behind silver. But yeah, okay, yeah, sure. That did not go super well. Not the best showing. One more? One more. Let's get the last part, shall we? So that we've got full options available for next time. And that was Tunnel Trip. Oh, see, you've got little cars with armoured windows? I think that one is. And there's that one there on the front, which is like it's a gear train with a motor stuck onto the side of it. I think that motor's on the back. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, we'll see in a second. If it's on the front, that's a bit of a collision hazard. It's on the front. Oh, there's weights on the back to even it out. I see. And it's actually the gold one too. It's got a better electric motor than we do, but it's got nothing else while we have support from the combustions. Ah, this is the race I mentioned like ages back as well. This this turnpike bit actually passes through it, which is a bit rare. I miss my Mark 8, I really do. I didn't realise until I drove it again. It's like, you know what? The Mark 8 handles noticeably better than this guy does. This guy has better power, and that's about it, I think. Better power, better gear train. But the Mark 8 was just better. Yeah, the Mark 8 was better than this Mark 9. I just didn't like losing that wheel so suddenly like that. So yeah, the wheels on this one aren't held on as well either. I don't think. I don't know. Anyway, this is not a race complaining about current Mark. Ooh, there have been, yeah. For some reason today recording there's been those random stutters. Just have to crash through at the end of that one. Oh, there's the gold. Okay. Okay. Right. Do we have time for one more? There's a lot of stuff I haven't got gold on. There's another 8. East Coast Fun and Whoop Whoop. I think next episode we'll be racing heavy because there's no more parts really to find exploring. So let's go back to the garage then. So, as I said before that last race, if you guys have a particular kind of vehicle you want me to try and do for the next episode, then please let me know and I'll try and put one together. I did find myself pining for the Mark 8. Power, it's a blend of characteristics that's worked really well. This one's like a bit too big, a bit too chunky. More power, 4-wheel drive, but apart from that, in general, it's a bit of a downgrade. But I will quickly go through the parts shop so you guys can see the stuff I've got. Like I've got beams, I've got armor panels which I've never used, all sorts of little panels and winglets. If anything up here seems to be of interest to you. Like I mentioned, this one here, the laser cut triangle is actually pretty good in terms of holding internal assemblies together. Connectors, nothing too interesting here. Mechanics. Well, I've never used the racing equipment, this particular little mini series. So there's something of a thought there. I've also got the hinges as well, which I've never really used, but it's for rotating entire sections of the vehicle, so I'm not sure what that is meant to do, except for like maybe helicopters and things. But I've never tried that in this. Engine bay, three top tier electrics, 2 top tier combustions. Got the small ones, of course. We've also got superchargers and turbos. Stepping motor for allowing us to change the angle of a section mounted onto it. Push of a button. And then, of course, the specials. We've got the weights, we've got the compass, which we don't need anymore. We've got the wings, fin, and, of course, the pistons, which, again, I've never used. So that's my complete part list right there. So, yeah. If you want to see anything particular built, let me know. But that said, though, this is the end of this episode. So this has been iMark3. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out me, helps our channel, give me those virtual headpats I oh so crave. And I'll catch you all some other time. See you all later. Oh, by the way, this is the colour bits. Scroll with the mouse wheel, and then I can paint an existing part, or if I put down a main piece like these body parts, they are by default colored to that. So that's how the painting system works. So it's just like, can I paint those? It says I can, but it doesn't change colour. So yeah. Oh yeah, very pretty. But yeah, I'll see you all later. Can I paint cogs? No. 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 Yeah, it is just body parts that could be painted.